Hello everyone, American Sports 365. Here's me once again is my colleague Alex. So, UFC 290 is coming up this weekend on Saturday. And a lot of good fights on the card. It's a pretty stacked card as one would expect for International Fight Week. So without further ado, let's get right into it, starting with the featured bout. So the featured bout is a middleweight fight between former champion Robert Whitaker and rising contender Dricus du Plessis. Whitaker is obviously one of the best fighters in the middleweight division. He's 4-1 this last 5, and the only loss was against current champion Adesanya. Du Plessis has 4 finishes in the last 5 fights and 10 wins overall in his career by submission. So both two very good fighters, so it should be an interesting fight. Before we delve in deep, what are your initial thoughts on Whitaker versus Du Plessis?
Yeah, I'm excited. It should be a good fight. Obviously, Whitaker is an elite fighter, and I guess in this match we can see, whether Du Plessis is really an elite fighter or whether he's just a really good fighter.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty likely that whoever wins this fight gets the next title shot against Adesanya. Obviously, Whitaker's already fought him twice and lost twice, but finished the first time. And Du Plessis has already called out Adesanya a bit, and obviously is looking for that shot. So I think the fight will definitely have big ramifications for the middleweight division. In terms of potential advantages for both fighters, Whitaker has the experience. He's a better technical striker than Du Plessis, based on what I've seen from Du Plessis. However, I think Du Plessis is better in terms of his submission offense. He's got 10 submissions in his career so far, so definitely something we have to watch out for in order to win the fight. I think the X factor in this fight is Du Plessis' cardio. Obviously he has some sort of problem with his nose, so a lot of times he breathes through his mouth. And even in that last fight that he won against Darren Till, I've seen gas out pretty badly trying to finish him in the first round, retire in that second round. So I think those are definitely things to keep in mind as far as this fight goes. What are your thoughts on the potential advantages for both fighter and the X factor of Du Plessis' cardio?
Yeah, I think Whitaker would have the advantage on the feet. Du Plessis would have the advantage on the ground. I think Du Plessis' cardio is really going to make things difficult for him because Whitaker has excellent cardio and Whitaker is smart, so you would probably know that Du Plessis' cardio may be a weakness, and you would try to wear him out. That's what I expect at least.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, Whitaker is known for having excellent cardio. Also known for having a very high fight IQ, which is why he's been one of the best fighters in the middleweight division for a while. I definitely think that Whitaker will target Du Plessis' cardio and really try to wear him down in order to win the fight. And so I think that's most likely the strategy, to try to wear him out and stay off the mat with Du Plessis. Now, in terms of a prediction, I go with Robert Whitaker by decision. I think Du Plessis is a good fighter and a top contender, but I'm not sure that he's an elite fighter. I'm not sure he's a championship level fighter. Whitaker clearly is, especially given the potential issues with Du Plessis' cardio. I think it's going to be a really tough fight for him to win, though, of course, anything. But I'm going with Whitaker by decision. What are your thoughts on that official prediction? Do you agree, or do you see Du Plessis taking this one?
No, I agree with you. I think Whitaker win by decision after wearing Du Plessis out throughout the course of the fight.
Yeah, I agree. That makes sense to me. So as far as Next fight goes, it's co-main event, the undisputed flyweight 80 championship, the men's undisputed flyweight championship between champion Brandon Moreno and top contender Alexander Pantoja. Obviously, Moreno just had that epic rivalry with Figueiredo over the course of 4 fights, beat him twice, and then one was a draw, one was a decision loss. He's coming off that, and Pantoja actually fought Brandon Moreno a long time ago on top and beat him, and is 4-1 in his last 5 with 3 finishes, 1 KO TKO and 2 submissions. So both of them are definitely finishers for sure, with above 70% finish rates in their career, which is quite impressive given the fact that they fight at 25. What are your initial thoughts on the co-main event between Moreno and Pantoja?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be an exciting fight. Both guys are exciting fighters, so it's definitely, worthy to be the co-main on such a stacked card.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a really exciting fight. I think the flyweight division, and especially Moreno, have really kind of shattered that stereotype that the lower weight classes have boring fights. Obviously, there's an epic rivalry between Moreno and Figueiredo over the course of 4 fights, and Moreno has hardly had a boring fight in his entire career. The same thing goes for Pantoja, so definitely expect it to be an exciting fight. In terms of potential advantages for each fighter, Moreno definitely has more championship experience. Obviously, just had 4 title fights against Figueiredo. Pantoja, however, I think is slightly more active in terms of his number of submission attempts. I think he's a little bit more dangerous on the ground, even though Moreno does have a little more in terms of submission wins, but I think Pantoja might be looking for that a little bit more, given how good Brandon Moreno is on the feet. In terms of the X factor, there are a number of things I could pick, but one that really stood out to me is the potential physical toll on Brandon Moreno after those 4 fights with Figueiredo. Now, obviously, Moreno is still in his prime. He's fighter at 29, so obviously it's better ability to withstand damage, but still, I think that's could be a significant factor in this fight. What are your thoughts on the potential advantages for each fighter in the X factor as far as Moreno Pantoja goes?
Yeah, I think that Moreno is more skilled overall. Pantoja, like you said, he does have less wear and tear on his body. Having said that, I actually think that Brandon Moreno's extensive experience, which has led to wear and tear on his body, is actually the X factor. And I think that that'll see him, fight a smarter fight and win this fight by decision is my prediction.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think there are a number of things you could pick for the X factor. That's certainly one of them in terms of the X factor in favor of Brandon Moreno. He obviously has more experience, and after that, after all those fights with Figueiredo, probably will fight a bit safer, not in a boring way. I don't think he really knows how to have a boring fight, but yeah, I think he'll really use that experience to great effect in this fight. As far as my prediction goes, I agree. I have Moreno by decision. I think overall he's more skilled. He's a little bit younger, and has a lot of momentum coming off that win against Figueiredo, and of course has a lot more championship experience. So taking Moreno by decision to remain flyweight champion. Now we get to the main event. Alexander Volkanovski taking on Yair Rodriguez. This is a fight that a lot of people have been looking forward to, myself included. I think it's going to be an excellent fight. Obviously, Volkanovski is coming off that loss against Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title. Well, that was a very close fight, and some people thought that Volkanovski won. I didn't, but it was a very close fight regardless. Yair Rodriguez is, of course, coming off his interim title win against Josh Emmett, in which he finished him. So both of the fighters, going into this fight with different momentum still, but I think Volkanovski will be more motivated than ever to win and remain the featherweight champion, given his recent loss. So, what are your initial thoughts on Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Both these guys are really exciting fighters. I mean, they're both finishers. And I do think that, on one hand, you have Yair Rodriguez, who's riding a big wave of momentum, but on the other hand, you have Volkanovski, who's definitely going to want to bounce back after that tough loss to Makhachev. So, it's probably kind of cliche to say that it is about the main event, but I think it's a good candidate for fight of the night.
Yeah, just looking at this main card, I think there are a couple of fights that you can pick for fight of the night, to be honest. I think you could easily pick the co-main event as well. I mean, given the kind of flyweight title fights that we've seen recently, I think that'd be a pretty safe bet as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting fight. Obviously, Yair Rodriguez is a really unpredictable striker. He has good submissions off his back as well. And of course, Volkanovski is great everywhere. The dominant champion who has seemingly just gotten better and better. Honestly, I was kind of surprised by just how good his takedown defense was in the fight against Makhachev. I thought Makhachev would be able to take him down more easily than he could, given the weight disparity, but that wasn't the case. Now, in terms of potential advantages for both of them, for Volkanovski, I think there could be a lot, but one that I definitely see in terms of Yair Rodriguez's fighting style is that while he can be wild and unpredictable, that can also lead to him getting bad positions, especially ending up on his back and throw some wild strike and end up missing and falling, and then you could get caught with some ground and pound, which is definitely not where you want to be against Volkanovski. As far as a potential advantage for Rodriguez, I have his body kicks. I think those are some of his best weapons. He has devastating body kicks, as we saw against Josh Emmett. He used those with great effect. And as far as the X factor, I put Volkanovski adding some Taekwondo to his style. Taekwondo isn't that common of a base for MMA, really, so it could kind of catch Yair Rodriguez off guard. And obviously, Volkanovski's always looking to improve and add new elements to his fighting style, but definitely be interesting. What are your thoughts on the potential advantages for both fighters and that X factor?
Yeah, so I think Volkanovski has the advantage in terms of fight IQ, especially because of his experience. And I think that Yair Rodriguez has an advantage in terms of striking creativity, because even though Volkanovski is very experienced, he hasn't fought anyone with the style of Yair Rodriguez because no one else has that style. As far as the X factor, I would say, yeah, I have to agree. Volkanovski's Taekwondo. I'm interested to see how they'll actually play out in the fight. Like I said, it's very rare for an MMA fighter to use Taekwondo moves, so they could definitely catch Yair Rodriguez off guard.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly a unique style, and probably not one that Yair Rodriguez really trained for. Because, like I said, it's not really, Taekwondo isn't really used much in MMA training in general. Probably one of the reasons why Volkanovski integrated that into his fighting style. But yeah, I think those potential advantages are definitely interesting. I think Volkanovski's integration of Taekwondo could end up being a big factor in this fight because again, it's hard to see Rodriguez really being fully prepared for that.
Yep.
Now, as far as prediction goes, this might be kind of a boring pick, but I'm going with Volkanovski by decision. I think Rodriguez is a threat to him. He acknowledges that, and he said himself that Rodriguez is a dangerous opponent. I agree, but I think Volkanovski is too well-rounded. I think he's too experienced, and I think he's going to be extra motivated to get back in the win column and after that tough loss and really remind the rest of the featherweight division that he's still number one. Your thoughts on that division? You have Volkanovski retain the title?
I do actually think he's going to win by knockout. I think Barry Rodriguez will get himself in a bad spot, really throw in some stupid strike and missing, and Volkanovski will pounce on him and take advantage of that and hit him with ground and pound until the ref steps in.
Yeah, I think either way, I think Volkanovski will win. I shy away from saying Barry Rodriguez will get finished because he's extremely durable, but Volkanovski is also extremely powerful for featherweight, so we'll see. I think Volkanovski, they will win and remain and still featherweight champion.
Yep.